everyone. Hey, everybody. We just got done reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine. So go check that out. Check out our thoughts on the multiverse trips of the two mutants. But we missed a episode of House of the Dragon last time. We're sorry about that. We were busy last week or something. I don't know. Sick people were sick. Stuff were happening. So we have two episodes to kind of talk about. So I won't do the whole review thing because that will take forever and we'll be here for 3 hours. But we had episode 6, which was called Small Folk. And then we had episode 7, which is called The Red Sewing. So one of these episodes was a lot better than the other one for me, I would say. And that, of course, was the last one, episode 7.
You mean where things actually happened?
Stuff happened. And episode 6 was infuriating. Infuriating stuff happened. So
also nothing really happened.
Yeah, true. Nothing really happened. So there's been a lot been
Got
made
some.
about.
What are you guys talking about? We got some queen on white. I don't know
Worm.
what is she called.
White worm.
Worm.
White worm.
Actually, got a queen kissing a worm, man.
That came out
went
of
to town.
freaking nowhere.
I saw it coming, and I was like, "Are we gonna do this?"
Did you?
No, in that moment, yes, that's
Yeah,
where
in
you
the
saw
moment.
it coming. But for the rest of the entire seasons, no.
No, not
It's
at
like-
all.
I'm bored. I'm not complaining, but you know.
I mean, that was some hug, I guess, because they hugged for like 5 minutes just sitting there hugging. And then all of a sudden they're making out. But
I would almost think that they kind of hated each other and on a certain type of level. And also that their relationship hasn't changed at all, really, because through the next episode, they don't address it. They don't act
they're kind
different.
of awkward to each other, I think.
They're already awkward toward each other. Mostly because Damon's was banging her like way back when.
Well,
So-
that's true. That is his ex.
Mhm.
That episode just
Scandalous.
made
Scandalous.
the episode just made me hate Rhaenyra.
I did love there's this meme of like Damon welcoming Rhaenyra to Harren Hall, and on the out like that wall of Harren Hall is a massive banner. It says "Welcome home, cheater."
Yeah, episode 6 made me hate Team Black and Rhaenyra specifically. It's just like, man, she's got the plot armor on, and they're not gonna let anything bad happen to this lady. She's not gonna face any consequences. Hopefully, they do in season 3, but for now, she's just like,
You don't know how the Dance of Dragons ends, do you, Joe?
no, I don't. That's true.
Okay.
But she's like,
Okay.
yeah, the people are hungry. Let's give them some fish. And then they're like, they're hungry because the blockade. Or Aemon's like, they're hungry because of the blockade you're doing. But he doesn't do anything about it. He just kind of walks away. There was one really entertaining scene in episode 6. So it was Aemon and the guy, the strong guy with the clubfoot. They're talking, right?
Lancel Strong?
Something like
Think so.
that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a cane. He can't.
Oh,
Got a thing for feet.
you said strong, so I didn't picture that guy when you said strong.
Yes, that's why that's the character.
The strong guys are pretty
I'm not good
funny
with
because you got
names.
that one guy with Damon. He's just like freaking out with Damon.
Desperately trying to be an administrator that to a guy that doesn't like anything like
I think he's just
bureaucratic.
afraid of everything. Yeah. But no, the entertaining part was he's talking to that guy, right? And he's like, yeah, we could probably use a hand because, Kristen Cole was Aegon's hand. It wasn't my hand. And the guy's like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. I've always wanted this. And he's like, not you. Go get the old guy
Yeah.
back. And he's just like devastated.
Who's talking to you, sir?
Yeah. So right away, he's got to make his plans with Aegon and be like, I'll use you even though you can't even get out of bed. And we get a very painful scene with Aegon in episode 7 where he does try to walk around and he's just like,
That was not a soft fall, by the way.
I'm like, why are you giving him a cane that's gonna break, man? He's the king. Get him a metal one.
True. What the heck, man? He's like, well, you make me do this. So episode 6, was there anything else? I mean, we already talked about the
Nothing,
kiss. It just-
nothing really happened.
Guy got
Honestly,
Right.
like who?
That's soldier guy.
Oh
Soldier boy?
yeah.
sorry.
He looked like McGurk, the gym teacher knight. So they're trying
I
to
was-
find
I
dragon
was-
riders.
I was thinking, okay, this is funny. I was thinking it was. Do you remember that show Still Standing?
Yeah,
Do you remember the guy's best friend?
Billy.
Yeah, he looks like that guy, which I thought was kind of. For a second, I thought it kind of was him because also, the guy that or the main guy, Robert is Mark Addy, is in the original Game of
Oh,
Thrones,
yeah.
and so I thought that was a thing there. But I was like, wait, no, that's not him. But man, that really does look a lot like him. So
Yeah, so
stupid.
they're desperately trying to find writers, right?
Mhm.
And they're like, get that King's guy. He's got blood in him and like royal blood in him. He's like, all right, I'll do it. And he's like, so he gets in front of this dragon, right? And he's like, he's freaking out. He's like, well, trying to walk up to this dragon. And finally he's like, I can do this. I got it. And then the dragon just like incinerates him and this other dude.
So some backstory to this. One of the Targaryen kings had like 19 confirmed bastards,
Yeah, he did.
and on his deathbed, he legitimized all of them.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of caused some problems. And so you know how
but how validating for those men though. Like, you are legit. You are legit.
yeah, okay, here's the thing though. So bastards from certain regions have names, right? Like north is snow, the Riverlands is waters, Dorne is sands. Do you know what Targaryen bastards are called?
Smokes.
Blackfires.
Black
Which I think
That's
is-
way cooler.
That's way cooler. It's like, oh no, you're a Targaryen. It's like, I don't want to be.
like
And then like the
a lake
black-
dust or whatever.
the Blackfires even have their own standard because the Targaryen banner is a red dragon on a field of black. Well, the Blackfire is a black dragon on a field of red. It's the reverse, and that's the Blackfires have their own banner. And so, if you're not a legitimate person that has Targaryen blood, you're called a Blackfire, which I think that's pretty cool, honestly.
Go make your own
So-
nation.
They tried. There's been 5 Blackfire rebellions, so
Wow.
that's why the Targaryen
More like
royalty.
backfire. Sorry.
Yes, well, but that's part of why a lot of the royal, like the Targaryen royalty, they don't like Blackfires because of that reason. So that's a little backstory onto that, which we're kind of missing some of that. I'm just like, okay, no, I understand why they don't like these people, but yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so episode 6 closed, and we just know we hate that one character because she's kind of ruining the whole show.
Which one?
I was just that
White Worm.
White Worm
Oh.
character.
I don't hate her. It's just that scene came literally out of nowhere and made no sense. I was just like, all right.
Yeah,
Cool.
the guys I watch hate her. I hate her. It's just because she's like there for no reason. We can't understand why she's there. Episode
we can't
7,
understand
right?
her.
Episode 7 was where, like Tom was saying, the stuff happened. So, I forgot. Episode 6, the dragon picks his own rider. Right, he
Oh, yeah.
chases after this dude.
Sea smoke.
Kind of a weird scene. He's like chasing after this dude, and he's like, "Okay, you can ride him."
I also saw like an Instagram clip of, I don't know if it was the director or someone they were talking about. They're like, yeah, it's so nice to work with someone so athletic and awesome. And they were just talking about that guy like crazy. I was like, man, they really like that guy's running. Like,
He
he only
just
ran for 3 seconds, but good for
Ran
him.
on the sand for about 3 seconds,
He
but
was
all
about
right.
it though. Well, he ran through the
There you go.
forest. The dragon chased him overhead.
I
didn't get
thought
very far.
It
They
was
liked
gonna
him a
be
lot.
his brother because they've been introducing his brother like earlier, but happened to be him. So episode 7 starts off with the queen saying, "Yo, what's up? Why are you riding that dragon, fool?" He's like, "The dragon came to me. I didn't want
Like
it.
a puppy. I've
Oh.
been trying to get home without it the whole time. He's just following me.
It loves me, man." So a lot of people are mad at this because he's not like royal blood or anything. He's more of a common folk guy.
It's a
So
bunch of Targaryens.
yeah, so her advisors, like that guy that's always drinking, is like mad. He's like, oh, her son is gets kind of racist. At one
That
point.
was that. Okay,
Little
talk about
classist there.
talk about coming out of nowhere. That was like because
Well-
her son has been like the only like I say good person on that council, and all of a sudden he's just like, no, they're not worthy. I'm just like, whoa.
Well, I feel like they do a good job of putting his point of view across because he's so afraid of like his
Being
the
illegitimate.
point of his existence being just ripped away from him. And I actually had never really thought about that in that kind of context of like, any sort of kind of like regency or anything like that. And I was like, what an interesting actual concept of like your life expectancy, your purpose has been laid out before you. A lot of characters don't want it, a lot of characters do want it. We see a lot of them in this, but like to have that just like ripped away, I was like, what an interesting kind of concept that I enjoyed kind of seeing from his point of view of him kind of freaking out. Like, I don't have a purpose if you do that. Please stop. I don't know. Or
That
like
was
if someone would challenge him because he could almost be like saying for the dragon, the really, really big one we see later on, he's like, that would like, you could see almost his fear of like, they could kill me and take over if they wanted to because that thing's bigger. And I don't know. I thought that was interesting. But he was
a-
a little classist, yes.
that was a bit of a criticism I've heard since the first season was making the Valerians black. It kind of takes out because like okay in like the original story, Rhaenyra has 3 sons with supposedly the Valerian son who was gay, but it's rumored that those 3 sons were Strongs because of the black hair, but it's never been confirmed because a lot of Targaryens have black hair because of the Baratheon line. Because like in I was telling Michael and Anna, the princess that died recently, the dragon rider.
Oh yeah, the older one.
Yeah, she was a Baratheon. She had black hair in the books,
Mm.
and so like having a Targaryen having black hair is not really out of the ordinary, but making them black and white, it kind of takes that that unknowing uncertainty away, and it's like, oh no, she definitely cheated, which I think is kind of think it's kind of lost on that, but
The one that I watched he's kind of likes that just because it makes it obvious to like
Right.
the whole kingdom. It's
yeah,
like-
but and that's the thing is that to me it is super obvious, like, oh no, that's definitely your son. It's like, come on, man. But I don't know, it's but from what Michael was saying, like the kid is definitely has misgivings about letting these people in because I mean, again, they're Blackfires, so that they have a way to take over the throne if they want to.
yeah, and then he's kind of upset the way she treated him, like because he knew like everyone knows.
Yeah.
She's never addressed it to him and stuff like that, so he's upset about that. So over on the green side, not much happened. Aemon. What really? Did anything happen on the green
he's-
side?
Not very good at ruling. He's good at tactics, but he kind of sucks at ruling.
Yeah. We already talked about the Aegon part where he's trying to.
It's interesting
the-
that the Crutchman is trying to get him back on his feet quickly. I was like, that's a fun.
Well, I think it's
tension
'cause
to pull.
He didn't get to be the hand.
He's
so
like, I
he's
don't
just
like this guy anymore. I need him good as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Like fun, but also,
And
like,
also-
Even
that
when he
boy's
said to
so
the
scared of his
maester,
older brother.
well, when he was
Better.
said to the maester too, is like he needs to be better because like people are going to
Mhm.
try to kill him soon, so he needs to be as good as he can be.
And then the queen goes off camping because she really doesn't have anything
He
to
just went
do.
skinny
So,
dipping.
yeah,
It's all
when,
fine.
she initiated the war, and then she's like, "Cool, I'm out."
there's nothing for me to do because Aegon hates me. And
Also, we
or
we
Aemon.
we missed the whole part about Damon in the castle.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I did like
so that
scene
was
with
cool.
him and the people. Yeah.
that set was really cool
was
because
bi-
it's like all the leaves up on the ground.
I thought
The were trees are awesome. I'm
It's like-
sorry, they're so cool.
I want the vesty skirt thing, man. I want his black like clothes. It looks so cool. Why can't we
I
wear
keep
something
telling-
like that?
Even the other knights look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I keep telling Michael, like, the dude has the coolest walk. Like, I'm
He's
just like,
had that forever. Doctor
is
Who.
such a cool walk.
He's always had that. Like, it's like bad posture, but it looks super cool. And I'm like, I don't understand.
it's
it.
so intense. Like, and
So
then the Tully and the Rivermen meet, which
Yeah, so that initiates this whole scene was the Rivermen have arrived, as the old funny guy says. Damon's still having trips. Just one this time though. He sees his
Thank God.
brother. His brother's all
That was a cool scene though, and he looked
yeah.
dope on that when he's holding the crown out. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a good freaking shot.
I will
A lot of-
say that this has been my biggest complaint about this whole series or season
Mhm.
was we just stuck Damon in a castle.
He's done
for-
nothing.
He has done nothing.
I
this
don't
whole
really
series.
care because I don't like that side, so I'm like okay with him just getting tormented the whole season.
Joseph, the Greens are guilty, man.
Where was Sir Christian? in this
they're
episode?
both guilty, but
He's
blacks are
off.
annoying.
He's off to going to Hightower.
Oh, yeah,
Poor
yeah.
Sir Christian is very depressed in this whole
He is.
season.
Oh
He's
no!
lost.
It's not like he didn't help cause this at all.
It's not like he didn't F every person that was
Did
on
you
the
guys
throne.
see the trailer for
I
the
did
next
not, I
one?
did not.
He's just like, we're going to our doom or something like that. So what starts this is this kid guy comes. It's like he's the leader of this
Kid's a
Riverman,
baller.
right?
He's
Yeah.
he's the new Lord Paramount of the West.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry,
so-
of the Riverlands. Sorry.
And Damon really needs his men. So he's got a little bit of leverage on Damon, and they have like this meeting in the courtyard with the knights and stuff like that. He calls Damon the prince, and he gets all offended. Damon hates being called the prince.
I did. I did like that exchange though. He's like, "Watch your tone."
Yeah, so they have this meeting, and he like makes him kill like one of his like rivals, right? And even though he's loyal to Damon, he's like, "I'm on your side." That shot was a little weird because Damon's like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
and then
it was
like
a
gets a
weird
close up.
Hold up on the close. It was a hold on the close up for a long time. I was like,
Felt sorry for those guards because, like, okay, this guy's coming in with a
"Whoa, watch
sword.
your fingers."
Yeah,
There was a lot of weird holds on this episode. They do it like two or
Yeah.
three times. But the meat of this episode, right, is so Rhaenyra really still needs writers. So she gets all these common folk, right, from like the other team too. They're like over there, and she brings them over.
You got your
Oh,
boy,
she
got him-
Joseph. You
she
got
got
your
him
boy
from-
back in the bar.
she got him from
Yeah,
King's
the
Landing.
bar- That guy came back.
He
Yeah,
did. I was like,
he-
Joseph's gonna be so happy.
No one bought him drinks though to make him laugh like
I
crazy.
know.
I like that guy.
I know he's great.
He's funny. So yeah, the barfly guy who was like boasting that he has blood, he gets the invitation. The guy with the wife and they can't eat because they got no
The-
food.
The Viking.
Yeah, he gets an invitation.
I was so sad though because you like don't know what happened to the kid yet, and he was like couldn't save our daughter. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, poor Geralt of Rivia.
So they invite all these like common folk, and they're like, she gives a speech. Man, she's a scumbag. Yes, but she basically kills 100 like common folk just to figure out two guys who can ride the dragon.
I will say I didn't like the fact. that the
Joseph, do you know how
guards
many
stopped them.
many people Sir Christian sacrificed to the
Yeah,
fire?
they're soldiers.
I will say like it was their choice to go there, but I don't like that the soldiers stopped them from running away. I was like, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. I don't think that scene should or that.
I mean,
part
this
should have
is
been in there.
her evil part, man. She was totally evil in this. And even when she's like watching from the top and she's just like, yeah. But this was a cool scene, right? So we get this really big dragon. They say he's like the second biggest dragon, but he's
Second
like the
biggest.
He
looking.
looks a lot
Not-
a lot less lazy.
Yeah.
If I'm
'cause,
not mistaken, him and I forgot the other one. What's the other dragon's name?
Vagar, the big one.
Vagar. Vermithor, Vagar, and Drogon are the three original dragons of the Conquerors. So weirdly enough, the king from last season, Paddy, I forgot his name, but him. He was the last writer of. Oh, I'm sorry, Balerion the Black. Sorry, that was Aegon the Conqueror's dragon, the Black Dragon. And I think these two are the wives' dragons.
We need a black dragon. Have we seen a black
No,
dragon?
was
Not
the
since Game of
last one
Thrones,
not
but-
black?
No, it's more of like a dark blue,
Yeah.
like
He looked
navy. Which
cool though.
that was like
Yeah,
my
he
favorite
did look
dragon.
cool.
That was
Cool.
awesome.
And he's just like,
Um,
poof.
Yeah. Okay. The same time this is happening, like the booping of the barfly, Coda was doing the exact same thing to me. I was just like, yes, I choose you as the writer.
Cody's
Getting into the
Thomas,
show, man. Okay, so yeah, that big dragon comes out. He's got all these teeth, and he's like sitting in front of these 100 dudes, and he's like, "Yeah, buffet time." So he's like blowing fires, eating people, throwing people in the air. He's like, he has regular Cheetos, and then he blows fire, and they're flaming hot Cheetos, and then he eats them. And that's the people. But so everyone's running around scared. The barfly guy just takes off, man. He's gone.
No, he gets like smacked off
he fell
the.
first, and then he
Yeah, you get smacked off that platform pretty hard.
He runs into a tunnel and like takes off. The big guy, the big Viking guy, as Thomas calls him, he tries to help a lady, but she gets taken out. And finally,
Well,
he's
she-
had enough.
She made it.
Did she make it?
Yeah, she-
I
Yeah,
thought she
'cause-
got eaten.
No, because she's running and he's like the dragon was about to eat her and he starts
Oh,
screaming at the
okay.
dragon.
Yeah, so he
and
screams at the
Dragon's like,
dragon.
We vibing, sir. We're vibing now.
the
And
guy.
he's like, "Yes, you are the one. You are the one to write me." Meanwhile, the barfly guy runs to down the hall. And he steps on an egg, and there's like a dragon hiding in the corner. You can't even see
That's
it.
it.
But then,
I loved his reaction. He's like,
yeah,
Whatever.
he's just like, oh, "Okay," and he starts like laughing at his own death. And the dragon's like, "Yes, I like that."
You got a sense of humor,
You
buddy. You're coming with me.
I like the cut of your jib, sir.
So that was like Silverwing, right? I don't know a bunch of their names.
Well, no, I think that one was Silverwing, yeah.
Yeah. So they have their dragon riders. They got these two guys. Cut to this weird scene where the guy's like flying the dragon like right off. First hour, he hits one. He's over there flying, flies over the castle. They're like, "Oh my goodness, someone shoot it down!" What's his name? Aemon runs to his horse, gets on his horse, drives to his dragon, his big ugly green dragon, gets on that thing, and then they start chasing him, right? And then the end scene is he's chasing it, and he's like, "Whoops," because he sees like the other dragons. He's like,
Like,
"Go
"Oh."
back, go back."
They have
'Cause the
buddies
dragon-
now.
The dragon's not scared, man. He'll take them all on. But we see the final shot is the queen standing in front of all her dragon friends, and that was the end.
Just had a pretty
Dragonland. Let's
Yeah.
all go to Dragonland.
Next episode promised a lot of fighting, so we will see. So, what do you guys think of these two episodes? Any last thoughts?
This one, like, stuff actually happened finally. Thank God.
Mhm.
It's like,
It was a cool episode.
I didn't remember because Joseph and Thomas both said before this podcast they told me that they weren't a fan of episode 6, and I was like, I don't remember disliking it, but yeah, I don't remember a lot that happened.
nothing happened.
The last night's episode was really good though. My only, and these are nitpick like things that like before, but like whenever the big dude, well, leading up to it, I was like, it just seems obvious the big dude's gonna get the big dragon, but I was kind of hoping that wouldn't be the thing because it seemed a little too telegraphed, but it was a thing, and I'm okay with that. But I do
You
wish
just have a big dude on a little dragon.
but I do wish he had been a little more. And I said that to Alex, and he said he didn't feel the same way. But like whenever he's like, yeah, the lady runs off, I'm expecting like him to become a much bigger presence. I expected him to yell, but he's like, he just kind of is like, stop. Then he goes over and he's like, yes. I was like, I expected more aggression from him, more like vocality. I was like, I want him to yell or something. I want him to like scream at the dragon, be like, just be done with it. I wanted more emotion from him, and we didn't get that. And that upset me. And then the second thing that this is just my preference of what I wish had happened, but whenever because we get the shot and it's Aemon at the council table, really cool shot with the light coming into the window, and then I can't remember if it's the maester or if it's Cane Boy, but they're sitting there talking and they're like, what the heck is that noise going on outside?
No. It was the guy who thought that Sea Smoke had a different writer because he heard it from a person
was
who
it
heard it
that
from a
guy? I didn't
person
even
who
notice
heard
it
it
was
from
that
a
guy.
person, and then like Clubfoot guy's like, I would probably dismiss that one, and then like it happens,
Yeah.
he's like, oh crap, I
Oops,
forgot to tell
we
the
should
king.
probably yeah. And so like everyone in King's Landing's freaking the heck out. So Aemon goes up and pushes the door. I thought it would have been such a cool shot if all the dragons were just like in a line flying, just as a warning, not like to start a fight or anything, not low enough to get shot, but just flying over it to let them know, hey, we got everyone. And
Hey, their trap almost
we're
worked.
ready. So I was like,
Mhm.
that the trap idea was cool, but I was like, it would have been such a baller intimidation move to just bring everyone there and be like, look up, buddy. Like I was like, that would have been so cool, but that was just my kind of like
I do
satisfaction
love
but didn't get. But.
Barfly guy just riding his dragon like, whoa.
What was it? Anna said, "Why send him of all people?"
I know.
Like, should send someone a little. But I might get you one a different dragon to draw his attention, but
Well,
it-
probably
it's
because
funny.
he's expendable. Like if he like accidentally falls
Well, if
off,
he-
they're okay.
Yeah, we'll just grab someone from the cave that's probably still down there and survive. Maybe they'll take him next. I don't know, but it was a good episode though. Almost done. One more.
Almost done. One more. All right, cool. So the news. So there was news, and then there was bigger news. So Comic-Con happened, and Marvel was there. Unlike last year, where like there was no Hollywood presence at all at Comic-Con. This year there was a lot. Marvel, of course, made the biggest splash where they showed off Fantastic Four. There was a trailer there. We didn't get to see it, but there was a first trailer for it. It's very 60s. Takes place in the 60s, and it's got that aesthetic. And then the big news, though, was someone walked out in a Doctor Doom mask, and when he took it off, it was Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. We don't know if he's playing Victor Von Doom. Is he playing a Tony Stark variant? What do you guys think? What do you think of Robert Downey Jr. coming back and
My
who he might be playing?
My favorite reaction to this is a meme, and it's someone like at the Kevin Feige's production unit going like, "Hey, that guy from Oppenheimer, get him in here. Let's have him play Doctor Doom." Comes up with Robert Downey Jr. Crap, I should have been more specific. So I'm a little disappointed it's not somebody else. Like I was thinking like Cillian Murphy or the guy that played Jamie Lannister. I cannot pronounce the guy's name because it's
He
Danish.
does have a cool name.
But I don't know. I really do. I have no idea what they're going to go for. The Russos didn't seem that excited. They're just like, here he is. Oh boy. So, I mean, not probably not like to work with him, but just like, I don't know what we're going to do here. So,
Well, it seems like this is going to be like a 2-movie arc where
Yeah.
the Doomsday being one, and then Secret Wars is like the conclusion of that. What do you guys think, Jared?
I thought it was a joke at first, or some kind of.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Now I don't really have a thought on it. I'm just like, okay.
there is one thing I'm hoping from this new phase of Marvel or whatever that we have. I want less shows. I'm sorry. I don't want any more shows. At least not so many shows that you have to watch 4 different shows to figure out what's going on. Because one, that's way too much of an investment for me for right now. And 2, most of these shows are not very good. So it's just
Yeah.
like I don't want to spend 6 hours watching this show that is.
What are you talking about? You loved Echo.
Mm,
I forgot
And
That's
about
like
that
your
one.
favorite
Agatha coming
show.
out.
but
Yeah,
that
I wouldn't mind the connection if they were good. It was like kind of like
Well-
when Agents of Shields first came out, and it was like it's all right, but
Well, like, okay, I'm sorry. My favorite one has been the Hawkeye one, and that one has barely had. I don't think it's had any impact on the rest of the MCU. But the thing is, that one is honestly the best one in my opinion. Now I haven't seen Loki. I've heard it goes like a roller coaster with Loki, so I'm not really looking forward to trying to watch that one. So,
season 2 was pretty boring.
Pretty
what I've heard.
freaking boring.
Yeah.
it can't be as boring as Echo, though. I'm sorry. Like,
At least Echo
I-
was really short.
Yeah, it was short.
not short enough, though. Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah, the Downey Jr. news though. I'm so confused before because there are people that are super hyped about this. Like people lost
Mhm.
their minds. Not only people that were there, but the people are like, "This is so." Like you mentioned, the Stark variant. I know nothing about comics. I've never read a comic book in my entire life. I have no idea Doctor Doom's actual story apart from
You own
Fantastic
one.
Four. I own one. I own the first Spider-Man one. Not for Risa though, so it's not special. But so I'm like, I have no freaking clue. I'm like, I like Robert Downey Jr. a lot. Like,
Mhm.
is this what you wanted? I mean, I'm guessing it seems like it's what he wants to do because I don't think he needs money in any slight sense of the term.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask. I'm like, he's already
he's-
like a billionaire.
They've
Like,
gotta be just like, it must be a fat check
Well,
for this man.
so
Yeah.
here's the one thing about Robert Downey Jr. is that I remember when the first Avengers came out, his paycheck was different because he earned a percentage off of the Avengers. I was like, oh my god! And apparently, he earned a percentage on every single movie that he starred in, and not just the Avengers. I was just like, he's been all the big ones.
That dude, yeah, he's fine.
I kind of hope he's just playing Victor Von Doom and not a Tony Stark variant. Like he's just a totally different character. Maybe they put him in makeup or
mask.
something. Well, yeah, he's got to wear the mask the whole time. So
And
don't take the mask off.
I also feel like even if he didn't have the mask, him without facial hair does look quite different from the Tony Stark
Mhm.
version. Going off of
He's
the
also lost a lot of weight too.
true
Mhm.
the Russo
Mhm.
angle of it, this feels like a let's bring back
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams for the final Star Wars because everything's
Oh,
lost
no.
it, and just bring the guy that started it back. That's what it feels like to me. I feel like these guys did that. Let's bring him back and have him try and piece together what the heck we've been doing. They've lost an actor, a villain to crimes in real life. They've
Yeah.
had a lot of bad storylines that haven't gone anywhere that no one likes. It's like their characters
You've-
haven't touched like Shang-Chi. Like, where's all that? The last good stuff that I remember. Like,
You've pretty much exactly summed up one of Critical Drinker's videos.
really?
Like, because he's just like, huh? I never thought I'd see see Marvel hit the nuke button on like there is like we are down to no options at this point.
Take the
Yeah.
last
Hit the-
water we have, put in the cannon and
hit the
fire.
button.
They really just need to reboot. And I think they'll probably do that after Secret Wars because who are the freaking Avengers?
I don't know.
Who are the Avengers going to
I
be?
have no idea.
I mean, there's Doctor Strange, and then there's like no one. There's like
Yeah,
'Cause they don't-
Spider-Man, that's
they Sony and them don't have an agreement yet.
really? Jeez.
Yeah,
really?
so-
Deadpool's
I
coming.
thought it was all the kids.
And you know, all the kids are supposed to be like, yeah, I don't
But
know.
everyone hates.
Well, it's what they got, Joseph.
And they
made
have
their-
the Thunderbolts, right? So the Thunderbolts are U.S. Agent, which was like the bad guy in Winter Soldier and Falcon.
I did not know how much money they spent on the new Captain America movie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the
because they had to
Holy-
reshoot the whole
I mean,
movie.
he shot it like 3 times.
Crap!
I
like-
also was a little upset because I didn't know who the Red Hulk. This is probably dumb of me. But this is more comic ignorance. But the trailer didn't show who the Red Hulk was, and then
No.
just everything spoiled who the Red Hulk was. Like, oh, okay, never mind then.
I think they
Who's-
spoiled that at Comic Con, right?
Who's the Red Hulk?
Do you care?
No.
Spoilers for the Red Hulk if you care who it is. It is Harrison Ford's
Thunder-
character.
Yeah, Thunderbolt
hell?
Ross.
Yeah, so like everyone's put up stuff about this
Wait.
is what he looks like, and he's red.
They recast
the Red
Ross.
Hulk. He's the
Yeah,
Red Hulk.
because Hurt died. So
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hurt died. I just didn't know they
So that's
recast
the
him.
joke with the mustache. You look different without a mustache in the trailer.
yeah.
Well, no, the joke I saw was the Leslie Nielsen painting behind him. I don't know if you've seen that
I don't know what that is.
from Naked Gun and
No, geez.
Airplane. Like apparently, like in I think it's Naked Gun. There's a picture of Harrison Ford on the wall
Really?
as the president,
Oh
and
really?
now
That's pretty. Funny.
in Captain America, there's a picture of Leslie Nielsen on the wall. I'm
That's
like,
pretty
okay,
funny.
that's kind of funny.
Liam
Weird for that movie,
Neeson.
but funny.
Liam Neeson is the new Naked Gun.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he's in
Oh,
Marvel
Lord.
Alexis Wayne.
What were we talking about? Oh, Thunderbolts. They showed some. So Bucky's in it. Black Widow's sister. Red Guardian. Ghost from Ant-Man 2.
No,
Remember that?
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I think a few others, but that's all I can remember. So yeah, Comic-Con. big news, at least some big news. Marvel, but I think they just got to reset. They just got to. You got to have Cap. You got to have Thor. You got to have Iron Man. You just can't. You just can't.
So what's I mean, not that anyone has any answers, but like the Fantastic Four is set in the 60s, so they're
Right.
gonna are they gonna have any sort of continuation with them after this movie?
Yeah, I think what happens is they get sent to either
Hmm,
the future or
different universe or time.
Yeah. yeah. So I don't know. I like the Fantastic Four. I know a lot of people don't like the Fantastic Four,
I
but
just like Reed.
I don't like Pedro as Reed though. I don't think that was good
That's not a good
casting.
fit. I'm sorry.
I think he would have been better as Doctor Doom, but
I feel like I could say that, but I'm also like, from what I've seen, how well he embodied Joel when I was like, Pedro Pascal's Joel. What are you talking about? I was like, okay, well, never mind. I'll
yeah,
Dude,
but
he
I'll
he
trust
would
him.
have been a better Doctor Doom.
He would have been a very
Yeah.
cool Doctor Doom.
Pedro does a very good kind of like everyman kind of character, and Reed's hard because he's like this. He's a super smart guy, right? So, and he has trouble connecting with humanity because he's kind of, he's got a lot of stuff going in his head, and it's really just Sue that kind of connects him to humanity.
Oh, the Reeds.
The Council of Reeds.
Yeah, so
They
it's
better.
hard.
Okay, I will say they better not have that in the first.
No, I
movie
don't think they
too.
will. That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
We
I
say
think they're
that
fighting Galactus in the
Okay.
first one.
Yeah,
so
Galactus says in the first.
that's not a cosmic butthole.
no.
I like the cosmic butthole.
But
No,
they
you
switched Silver Surfer to the girl version for some reason. So
Why go with a variant? What? No,
I don't
no,
So you
no,
can see silver boobies.
no.
yeah, they'll cover it up somehow. Knowing modern Marvel. All right. So the other news, the controversy that happened was with Mr. Beast in his channel. As we know, Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTube channel on the planet right now. So
Now that
what-
PewDiePie has gone and basically basically went like Thanos and is now like resting in a peaceful world in
yeah, he's got
Japan.
a family and running around.
A buff.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Beast, we've all said on this podcast we've never really watched Mr. Beast, so
I know nothing about him except for he's
It's-
very rich and he gives a lot of stuff away.
It's not our generation's YouTube.
no, apparently it's very big with the young people, and that's
The
part of the
youths, as they
that's-
say.
that's part of the controversy because Mr. Beast has a co-star that has been controversial in the past, is a person who's transitioning, so that was controversial for a channel that has such young fans for it. And then recently it came out that they ran a Discord where they had like 13-year-old kids in there and they were saying inappropriate stuff. And we know because someone else was in that Discord, and they were kind of telling what they were saying. And this person has said like inappropriate stuff before on the channel, so Mr. Beast pretty much just had to let go of this person. No longer associated with the Mr. Beast. He's doing an investigation to find out
pretty,
what we already know, I guess.
He said like hired investigators to do
Outside
this.
investigators, yeah. The Mr. Beast channel has come under scrutiny for this too. There was a report I saw. It was total rumor, so you don't know if it's true or not. But apparently the giveaways that Mr. Beast does are kind of phony and like fake. So we don't know. That's just a rumor. We don't know if that's true or not. So yeah, Mr. Beast has been under some controversy. Did you guys have any other news that you heard from it? Because I didn't really stay on top
all
of it all
allocations right now.
right now.
I
Yeah,
didn't even see any of it. I had COVID for a week, so my brain was gone. I have no idea what happened on that planet Earth except for Downey.
true. So yeah, that all we know is that that Discord thing happened. It was inappropriate. So
Also,
But-
this person has like a history of like leaking celebrity what do you call it? Compromising photos, I guess would be a way to say it.
really,
That is
Yeah.
always so upsetting to me.
Like they would talk, like this person would talk. I don't even know the person's name, honestly.
Chris something was.
I don't really care because I don't really watch Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Um, but apparently this person had like a YouTube channel where they would talk about things. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to, you know, disparage anybody, but you can find the links down below." I'm like, "Whoa!" So it's just
Yeah.
kind of weird.
All right, so another Jared, you remember that movie we watched about Flaming Hot Cheetos and their creation? So
Yeah.
kind of sad news was that guy suing Frito Lay, right? Is the owner of Cheetos. So he's suing them because he's saying that they're telling people that he really isn't the creator of Flaming Hot Cheetos. So he's suing them for defamation. So not we can't even have a good Flaming Hot Cheeto story.
Cheetos are under attack now. World's over.
And you know who's sorry is Ubisoft. They're very sorry, kind of.
Oh my god.
They released an apology to Japan. But it basically went like this: "We're sorry you got offended, but we're gonna keep doing what we're doing." So the apology wasn't very good.
I'm sorry. This is like, it's almost too funny just not to like. This can't be real, right? Like,
I want a week where Ubisoft is not heard from or like making someone mad.
I think they were also heard from because they released gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws, and people were making fun of it on IGN.
oh my god! I saw the slide action. And I was like, "Oh no,
And they're like, "This is
that
a
looks bad."
this is a stealth game or portion of the game, right?" And she's like shooting people, and the joke is like the stormtroopers in the back are like, "Did you guys hear anything or something?"
Well, like this person hit like a slide action button, Michael, and literally the character goes like this, drops to her knees, and goes like
She's got
Until she-
rollerblades on her knees.
until she automatically like finds cover. So it's like,
They're like auto tracking.
yeah, auto tracks to it. I was like, "Oh no, that doesn't look good."
So the fans, whoever they are, whoever these people are of Acolyte, would really
Gosh.
like an Acolyte season 2.
Oh, please no. Please God, no.
So the creators out there begging, you know, you got to tell them for an Acolyte
Oh
season
my
2.
god.
You wouldn't have to do that if your show was good. It just
How much she has to have dirt on somebody. She has to have an executive's like folder somewhere, right? Like it can't be this easy to get this show made. Like,
how to get
Poor
these
Star
jobs, man.
I know.
I just forget who they were saying. There was someone. Oh, they had that Penguin trailer for the Penguin show, and apparently the showrunners like she has no show running credits. She's never run a show before, so they're like,
Oh, the Batman Penguin. I was like,
Yeah.
what penguin shit?
Yeah. Happy
Oh.
Keep up.
Club Penguin the show.
Yeah.
Jared.
Oh,
That's what I
no, that's what I thought. I was just like penguin, like
I was
21
on board,
penguins.
Joseph. I was
I
on
thought you
board.
meant Penguin Zero. I thought Charlie got a movie somehow. I was like,
Well, I thought it was like 321 penguins, like that VeggieTales knockoff. I was like, that's back.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin. Banzai. Wow, I'm not the only person that remembers that show.
Oh, dude!
There you go.
Every Alex and I, there was a trailer for 321 Penguins on one of our VHSs of something that we watch all the time,
It's probably VeggieTales,
and
Michael.
it's just every time it goes, it names all the penguins, and it goes, and it's like this big, rhythm going to it. And it goes, and it stops. And it goes, and Kevin, he spins this big penguin, and he bounces, and you're like, we had tears every time. It was great.
Talk about a show that was not appreciated in its time, man. Like,
Never even.
I don't even remember that.
it's so good.
321 Penguins, man.
At the pilot yelled bonsai, and then its little bonsai tree would pop out and you go, "Click, click."
It was basically the penguins from Madagascar, but really big.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's
it's like,
pretty good.
There's like secret agents and stuff. It's exactly what it was.
In space, it was awesome.
So finally, we did learn some stuff this week.
I don't like
Hold up.
Joseph's like bad
Hold
guy
up.
scenario hearing. Why does he have a USB?
Hold up.
What's going down?
I thought for a quick hot second that Joseph had a vape pen. I was like, wow.
After the news we heard,
It's-
I was like,
Probably.
oh, I know. I'm just like, what kind of week has Joseph had to
Oh,
just do that? I
it's
can't even
been
get him to
bad,
drink a
but-
beer.
It's been that, but all right. So, but did we learn? We learned some confusing stuff. We learned that Hello Kitty is not a kitty; she's a little girl from London.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So
I think
the
they're-
creator came out and said that.
I think they're gaslighting us again, just like the Fruit of the Loom people. I swear to God, like, no, this isn't true, and I don't know why you're sticking with this.
It's
Like,
just a little girl.
He's a little cat, Jerry. Does she wear a mask? Is she a mutant? We don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know. And we also learned
an alley cat.
the
aristocrat?
voice. The voice of Goofy said that Goofy is not a dog,
He's a cow.
but some other kind of canine species that we
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh.
Where are you getting cow from that?
swear. No, he is a cow.
A cow?
Well, Pluto's not a cow. You're
No.
thinking of Clarabelle.
Goofy is a cow.
Goofy is a dog.
No, he's not.
Goofy is
Goofy has
canine.
never been a dog or a
Goofy
cow.
is a cow. I
You're a
swear to
cow.
God.
What are you talking about?
Oh
There
my!
I
was
see-
a character that was a cow and a horse, but there's
Yeah.
separate characters.
Horace and Clarabelle.
Yes, I know those, but I swear to God, Goofy is a cow. I'm not joking. I'm not playing around.
You're goofy. You go
What
boom.
is this based off of?
Yeah, yeah. Thomas had just like those like kid toys where you point to the cow, but there's a sticker of Goofy, and he's like, "It moves. It's a cow."
The cow says, yup.
I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any
And he-
definite answers.
Because
It's
it's
like-
not a cow.
What
Well, no. Like the top thing is like he's an anthropomorphic being, either a cow or a dog. I'm like,
Here's your
Is he
wisdom
both?
topic, Joseph.
I
What
know.
is Goofy?
What is Goofy?
but I mean, it makes sense though because he has those two buck teeth like cows have. They have back teeth.
He's also a goof, though. That's probably why.
kind of
But
it's
because he
I
has
think
the,
his
like
original name was like Doopy Dog or something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, and like the Steamboat Willie days, he was Dippy Dog or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. So
Yes,
it's
I
even
don't
more
know.
confusing.
dipping
Is
into
Hello
your gene
Kitty a
pool.
cat? We can't figure out cats and dogs anymore.
Or little
They're
then I
Rose
keep-
all like
London.
cows.
And then I do keep getting that the voice actor says he's not a dog. Like, what is he then?
Well, it brings to end those weird arguments that always has. Why is Pluto a pet and Goofy
And Pluto,
a man?
yeah.
Goofy is an elder being, I guess.
I guess so.
He's
a
like
dog
the
dog.
Animaniacs. They're like,
Yeah.
what are we?
Oh, true.
Oh my!
You
I
are.
want to go to Disney and unmask Goofy.
It's
It's a
just
40-year-old like.
What are you?
What
are
kid?
you?
audio.
That's how you get.
Trying to get a paycheck.
That's how you get escorted by the police people with a mouse for a badge. You know, they're like, "All right, son, come with us."
Disney jail. All right, that's all
Wow.
the news I had. You guys have any news?
Mm-mm.
No.
No
Mm-mm.
kitty, dog,
Jared,
cat
how-
things, nothing.
Jared, how far in that boogie video did you get?
I finished it.
You
Can I
finished
just-
it. Wow.
Yeah.
Some more boogie.
Can I just say, like, on our thing of random, this is our random podcast, right? Like, just random stuff. So I do handyman work for like an HOA every now and then. And I just got a random text saying, "Hello, did you get rid of a dead possum by one of our playgrounds?" I didn't know about this dead possum. I didn't volunteer to get rid of this dead possum.
Why
But,
are they investigating the?
I don't know. It sounds like they're like allegations are involved.
It
Did
does
you
sound like
did you get rid of a
kill-
dead possum? It's like, did I get rid of one or get rid of one?
Did you scratch out a dead possum?
Did you whack a dead possum there, son?
Where were you on the night?
I know. I'm just like, what?
Oh my!
All right, let's get into the homework. So, Jared, you haven't talked a lot this episode because we talked about dragons for like
Did
an
talk
hour.
about
So go
dragons.
ahead.
I didn't do much. I just watched that boogie thing, and then
Found a cat.
I started a new anime called Aka 13, which is like it feels like a more serious, not serious, but like it seems like in the same world as Spy Family. It doesn't have anything to do with it, but it has like it feels like it has the very same vibes, I guess. And I started that. It was pretty good. I haven't finished it yet. And then I caught up with Kaiju number 8. I finally got with Jackson Those last 2 episodes were pretty cool. My Hero, there was an episode that happened, and I was like, my gosh, and no one.
I haven't seen it.
I can't talk about it because no one has seen it.
I totally forgot about My Hero. Like for 2 weeks now, I forgot about My Hero. What the heck?
COVID.
My brain, COVID took my brain, man.
Trying to think about nothing in music, but I think that's all I did. I was just distracted by Boogie.
Yeah, I watched 5 hours of Boogie, man.
What's going on with Boogie now?
Just it never ends.
It never ends, man. So yeah, it's this whole cancer thing. He fake cancer.
The fake cancer thing's still going
on. It's still going on. And then much of the 4 hours I was watching was just him yelling.
Yeah.
Well, no, I never said that. He just keeps saying that over and over again. But yeah, so it's basically they were whatever podcast Boogie's on, his co-hosts are like trying to get him to, reveal that he lied about because they saw through it like pretty easily. And so like they've had a whole saga of them just trying to get him to admit what he did.
Oh my God.
And I got to the part where he finally did. And he just brings up all these weird excuses, like, and like all this penance is like, I found God, so I've been praying about it.
That was funny.
And I'm giving to St. Jude. I'm giving $1,000 to St.
It hurt. Did you see when he said that? He's like, I donated $1,000. It hurt.
Yeah,
really bad, but
he's got no money. He almost has $0, but he's not quite there.
He keeps saying that. That's what he said last time. Of all people who need to be canceled, this man, I'm done with it. Like, that's ridiculous.
His roommate's a chef, so he is a personal chef.
Get out of here, man. That's ridiculous. Oh my.
All right, Michael, what did you do?
I did a lot and a little because I did a lot of shows, but little shows. Does that make sense? I watched a lot, but I only watched 3-4 things, I guess. As you guys know, 2 weeks ago when I brought it up, I started Delicious in Dungeon, and I said it was delightful. The show is utterly delightful. I finished I think it's only 1 season or 2. I don't know, 24 episodes. It does take on a grander story. It starts off, like I said, they're going back for his sister who got attacked by a monster. They gotta go save it, but they have to cook the monsters because they have no money to buy food, make their whole part and everything. But it gets deeper and darker, and it's very good though. An amazing show. I think everyone should watch it. Then I was like, I need more anime, but I don't know what to do, and I can't think because I have COVID brain. And so I was like, I've always wanted to watch Blue Lock, the soccer anime, because I love.
They just had a movie.
I love Haikyuu, and I was like, I love soccer, or I like sports animes. I haven't seen a lot of them, but jumped into it, not in the slightest what I expected. I don't know if you guys know what like you think sports anime, you think, oh, we're just gonna have some rookie coming up and he's gonna get his moment, have these big moments. Something. No, Blue Lock it takes all the strikers in Japan because they're like, hey, our team sucks and we want to win the World Cup, so we need an all-star striker because that's what we're missing. We're missing an all-star striker. So this guy makes a hexagonal layer place that's called Blue Lock, and he brings every striker that's good in Japan to be at this place, and it becomes basically Hunger Games to bring out the best soccer striker in Japan. And so it's like it like literally the first game they play is tag. I'm gonna spoil the first scenario in Blue Lock. The first game they play in tag, and he's like, and the first person or the person that is it when time runs out, you are now out of the program. And so it like hits it's all about like, it's not about camaraderie or teamwork at all. It's all about, he's like, you need to fester and grow your ego. So you need to think you're the best so you can be the best. It's completely anti what you think of team and soccer is you have the Messis and everything. They bring up Messi and Ronaldo like 500 times. I'm like, all right, we get it. They're good. But it's like completely counterintuitive to actually building a team, or like what Haikyuu is like everyone working together to work on all. They have what they call, it's not quirks, but it's basically like their special talent, their special ability, that they're good at dribbling. They're good at, the main guy's good at basically just reading the field. But the first scenario is they're playing tag, and he knows this one guy's better than him, and so instead of like like it becomes a strategy game of, hey, he needs to go out, and so one and these two people, everyone's against each other, but he passes him the ball because he knows he's going to hit it at him, because he was like, I saw the look in your eye. You're a freaking monster, and I knew you're going to get him out. And so it's like, it just turns into this weird, like,
It's
every
like
man for
Squid Games
himself.
with
Yeah,
soccer.
but it's soccer, and I was like, this show is wild. So at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's just super angry. Everyone's like out for each other in blood, but I like it a lot. There's only the one season, I think. But it was super cool. So I very much enjoyed that. And then going on the third anime I watched, which I messaged you guys about, I've only seen the first season and 3 or 4 episodes of the second season, but I watched They Promised Neverland, which
yeah, I forgot you're watching that.
because I just Googled, I was like, good anime. And then it came up, and that one was 8.3 on IMDb, which is high for IMDb. I was like, okay,
I forgot to tell you, just the first season though.
the first season. Yeah, I've heard the second one's very controversial, so we'll see. But I get into it, and I was like, oh, this is, kids, everyone's having a great time, everyone's lovey-dovey, and then you're like, oh, well, something's a little weird here. But I didn't expect to be as dark as it was. You get to the end, and you just they show it in the face, and you're like, oh my gosh, and it's dark. And then so the whole season progresses, but it's that kind of like satisfying, almost Death Note way of all the people know what's happening and everyone's trying to outwit the other one. And I love that kind of scenario. So you have like the mom of the place, and then the mom number 2 that comes in of the place, and they're all like, hey, I'm going to try and play you off this person, she's going to play you off that person, but he's really working with that person. And you're like, who is who and what is happening? A lot of surprise. I did not see where the show was going. I did expect you kind of realize at one point, you're like, okay, so this season's going to end where you think it's going to end, and they have an allusion to a plan they want to do in the future, trying to avoid all spoilers. But so I expected that to be where season 2 picked up off of. I expected to be a time jump, and you instead start immediately back where you were. So I'm like, I don't know where the show is going now. So I'm interested and very excited to see which side I'm on by the end of it. But I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in, so I've met a few of the other characters in it, but very enjoyable. Last thing I watched was the finale of Doctor Who season reboot 1, whatever
It's still going?
whatever they're calling it. I just hadn't watched it. It's been over for a while. This was the one where the last episode was to be continued, to where basically the god of death was brought in. Apparently in this episode, he has been traveling with the Doctor forever. And this is one of my I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. I thought the finale was fine. They had some good character moments for sure, but they just, I feel like, went way too big. Like, this is the first season of this Doctor, this is the first season of this companion. Like, normally there's some crossover or something, but no, this is like just these 2 characters. Jared's gone, but and then
hi, Jared.
Oh no.
And but they go to basically universes ending situation, and I'm like, that's too big. Like,
After only the first season?
yeah, it was literally universe ended, basically, like all time, and it all got eaten up and everything. But which kind of goes back to what I was saying before in the beginning of the season, where I was like, their relationship's progressing so fast. Like, he's telling her things he doesn't tell other companions. Some companions don't know about, and they're just like, he's like, this is what I am, blah blah blah, we blah 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 blah. And so and that makes sense because of how
It took
big they
forever
went, and they're talking
forever
about,
to him to open up to Rose.
I know,
And
it's like, takes forever, and that's what the things you love about the Doctor is his mystery and stuff like that. But this one's very much just like, he yells a lot. I like this Doctor a lot, actually. I think he's good. I just don't think what they've done with his character is very good. So we'll see where they take it in the next season. They have a spin-off show apparently coming. It's like a 5-part series, mini or limited series, but I might be conflating that with another show now that I think about it. But anyway, not bad. I like the character moments they had at the end, because basically Rose, dear Lord, Ruby's looking for her family the whole season, and then it has that point by Jared where the Doctor's,
I think
like,
his internet's gone.
it
Yeah, I
touches
think so.
with the kind of like consistent conflict of the Doctor of never being able to stay in one spot because he is, timeless, and he can't have these relationships that he wants forever. And so this one, it hit a little in the feels, which I was surprised. They did a good job with the ending resolution with them, but still the episode was fine. It was whatever. And then the only other thing I did, I played half of a game called Scarlet Nexus, and then I got bored and stopped.
A game
then-
called Scarlet.
Yeah,
Nexus.
it's like an anime. It's cool. The story's cool, but I was just like, I got bored. 'Cause you kind of got your abilities, and then the stuff, yeah, you're just like whatever. And then I get told Thomas, 'cause I'm still on the last boss of Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
He was silently fuming.
He came over yesterday. I had it within half an inch of health, and I told Thomas I will vent about this when I beat the boss, and I will beat this boss. But this will be the last boss of this type that I play solo in a Souls game. I'm putting it down. I will never do this again. I'm not going through this BS. Like Johnny was
It's-
over Saturday night, and we just kind of marathon it because he'll play with it. And he got to the second phase, which was really cool because he's never really played Souls before. And this is the hardest boss in all Souls apparently. And but it's just like the way Elden Ring sets up their bosses to conform to what they did with shut up, Patty. The mimics and everything and summoning and trying to bring a lot of things. It just makes it so not fun. And then we watched a clip because I was like, let me show you some good bosses. So I went to Bloodborne. I'm showing these bosses. I'm like, God, I wish I could play this. I want to play these type of bosses that are so fun and organic and it's not just like basically remembering a button. I don't know. I have a lot to say
The
about it.
freaking
I have a
Star
lot
Beast.
to say about the Elden Ring DLC. It is really good. I'll say that, but I have a rant
Thoughts.
incoming. A rant is incoming,
A rant is incoming. Cool.
Mm.
but that's all I got.
Cool. Promise Neverland, man. That first season, one of the best setups
It
I've
was
ever seen
good,
for an
man.
anime. Yeah.
It was good.
That opening
is
though.
great. I was like,
Yeah.
that saxophone, man. Like, whoo.
I did realize this because we talked about openings, and I was watching that and Doctor at the same time, and I was like, I think the one opening of any show ever that I will not skip is Doctor Who's opening because it's not
Really?
long, and it's always changes. They always have a different.
Also
going through
gives you the
time
title of
warp.
the episode.
It gives you the title. That is one of the we should do a ranking sometime in bonus stuff of just openings of shows because Game of Thrones up there, Walking Dead is 100% up there, and Doctor Who,
Star-
man, it's up there.
Star
high.
Trek: The Next Generation. Just
Never
saying.
seen the opening, but we should do an
And
opening.
there-
it's
ranking.
not that like
Definitely.
exciting.
Well, it was for me when I was a kid. It was like, whoo.
There's definitely some, but I just can't think of some right now. There's some I don't skip.
But Doctor Who,
the Stranger Things when it was season one. It
That
was
was
kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that was pretty cool. Yeah.
when it was kind of fresh and new and not overused like it is nowadays. But it's fine.
Oh, expand upon that.
What?
Are you poo pooing on Stranger Things or other things?
Just in general, like just people have blown Stranger Things, I think, a little out of proportion. It started as like this kind of like small little project, and now it's kind of a watershed moment.
I
The
feel
last
like
season was good.
Adventure Time?
That's what I've heard. That's true.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
that is
Adventure
one
Time,
I've
yeah.
never skipped to the intro of Adventure Time. You can't do that.
But also, it's short and
It's
it gives
really
you the title of the
short, yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I
Speaking
love
of
those.
Adventure Time, Cheers! You gotta love the Cheers.
Cheers
theme
is a
song.
great theme song. Yeah, true. Yeah, we need to do a ranking of that. Maybe I'll set up one of those boards we can do where we like place it in S tier and stuff. We can do a bonus stuff like that. That'd be fun.
It's not the opening, it's the ending, but the Frasier ending is
Oh
pretty
yeah,
great.
super great.
When you got Kelsey Grammer singing to you about
Scrambled eggs.
scrambled eggs, yeah.
I toss salads and scrambled eggs.
Oh my.
I actually watched the first 2 episodes of the Frasier.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It
Was-
wasn't great. It was just kind of in the middle. I do like there's a Niles character because they don't bring Niles back,
Aw.
but
Aw.
they got. You all seen Frasier, right? There's
Yep.
no spoilers for Frasier. So
Yeah.
Niles and Daphne had a kid, and it acts just like Niles, so it's funny. But yeah, so I did that, and then the only other thing I did was watch a YouTube channel called Inspiragio or something like that. I'm sure Jared's probably seen this one, but they basically do dark and mysterious. They go over dark and mysterious paintings. So- So what am I thinking? Like the black paintings, which were the paintings the guys did in his house, like painted on his house, and it's got that one of Saturn eating his offspring. So
That's one of my favorites, by the way.
That
There's a company called Inner Decay that does like little like I say morbid kind of like merchandise. Like I got this pin from them, and it says nihilism, never not nothing, which I think is hilarious. But he has a a blanket that has the one of those frilled blankets that has the painting of Saturn eating his son. I'm like, that's pretty cool, but I'd probably have so many nightmares under that
Yeah.
blanket. So
And then they did that one for that scene in the lighthouse where the lights like coming out of his.
did they do the Red Dragon one?
I don't think so. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I haven't
That's
got
cool.
to that one yet. But yeah, that's all I did. So Thomas, what you got?
Just a bunch of YouTube. Honestly, I was I got sick too. Not as bad as Michael, but I mean, he didn't make out with me that much. But anyway, so watched Demo Ranches. It's actually a side channel, and it was a year in review of him buying a rundown resort, and he's basically building it back up. And this is kind of fun just to watch him go through everything. They they found this concrete building. He's like, I don't know what's in this, so we'll have to see what's in here. And there's like locks on the doors, and it's like all concreted up. He's like, is this a bunker? What is this thing? Opens it up. It's the wine cellar. And unfortunately, though, they didn't store everything well when the original owners left. So he gets these guys that come out and see like what wine's worth. He's like, there's like, quite a few $1,000 bottles of wine in here. He's like, how much is this one? He's like, oh, it's about $3,000 to $4,000 bottle of wine. He's like, is it worth anything now? He's like, no, it's spoiled. He's like, oh no.
It's vinegar.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, what's funny is that he opens it up and he drinks. He's like, is it drinkable? He's like, oh, it's drinkable. This doesn't taste good. He's like, oh, well, that's kind of sad. This is very interesting. Just all the stuff that they find in the on the property. They find like all these trucks and everything else. They're like, oh, look, like, I didn't know we had this truck here. And he tries to sell them to like a scrapyard. They're like, do you have the title? He's like, you're kidding. Like, there's no way I can get a title for this thing. Like, it's like 60 years old and it's completely rusted.
Salvage title.
Yeah. So they're like, this one salvage company's like, we can take it in if it's busted. He's like, oh, if it's busted, okay. So he gets in a backhoe and just like compresses it. He's like, busted. So, yeah, it was a cool video. Reminds me of my cousin. He has a lot of energy and reminds me of Johnny Jared, if that kind of puts it into perspective. He's a very do-it-yourself guy, and it's kind of cool. There's like a mansion on there, and that was like completely decrepit, and they've completely renovated it. And I mean, he's just a very cool guy. He has a doctorate, and he's like a veterinarian, and he literally does everything. Administration Results had a really cool breakdown of the movie Heat, which is one of my favorite movies. He's like, this is like every like gun tuber, wannabe gun enthusiast is like one of their favorite movies. I'm like, yeah, he's right. No, he's completely right. He tries to do the Val Kilmer sprint and the reload from the shootout. He's like, I'm not that good. I don't know how Val Kilmer got that good. That's crazy. And apparently that technique that Val Kilmer did is taught in like special forces schools. Like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. And like, oh, holy crap. So watched some Corridor Crew. Do you guys know who those are? The visual effects breakdowns and the stunt guy breakdowns. Know that one? Oh.
Nope.
Anyway, they had Terran Tactical on, which was the guy that did the John Wick 2, 3, and 4 movies, and just some of the breakdowns of his favorite like movie guns. And there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of knowledge there. But he brings in these 2 Terran Tactical Pit Vipers that John Wick had. So these guns are about $8,000 each, and he just gives them to them. Oh yeah, and I signed them. I'm like, okay, cool. We're just giving things out now. Great, appreciate it. But it was very cool. And then they had this other guy. His name is Robert Legato, and he's a visual effects artist. This guy did Star Wars, Star Trek, Apollo 13, Titanic, Terminator 2. I mean, the dude's probably done. He did all the visual effects for the planet side shots in Star Trek: The Next Gen. he basically invented all those techniques to film it. It's pretty cool. There literally wasn't a movie that he probably didn't work on. It's crazy. And some more YouTube. We had how do you say Otaka King Animation. This guy did the Alien Monday short film, the animated one. I think I sent that in the chat. And this is the same guy that did the anime TIE Fighter video
No.
years back. And this was like 6 years of his life, and it looks really good. It honestly, from what I've seen, it's kind of like the plot of Romulus already. So, but it was released in a 19-minute animated format. So I really recommend watching it because it's kind of crazy. It's like one guy that did all of this, which is just it's nuts. Let's see. Oh, and watched the Hot Ones, the one with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Did anybody catch that one?
I saw the clip, but I didn't watch the thing yet.
Yeah, I didn't.
Hugh Jackman basically wanted to die. There was one point where he's like openly, yeah, he's like openly crying, and Ryan is trying to make fun, but every time Ryan tells a joke, he's like, "It hurts to talk. It hurts to talk."
I love Hot Ones.
There's this one part where I think like Hugh Jackman was starting to be like delusional at one point. He's like, "My tears, they hurt." So it's just, it was really funny, and yeah, it was one of those episodes where you're like, okay, yeah, I like this one. And then the last one I watched was the Unsubscribed podcast. It has the GunTuber guys. They had his name's Jody Pluchette. Do you know who Gary Pluchette is? So okay. Weird thing. Do you know who Jeff Dosset is?
That sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
So this guy was a karate instructor in the 80s. Actually, Super Eye Patch Wolf talked about this guy, Jared. He I'm trying to get around this. So he kidnapped Gary's son Jody when he was like 11 years old and did things. I'm just going to put it that way. He goes into graphic detail about what he did. I'm just like, oh God. So Gary Pluchette, the father, heard that Jeff was being transported.
I've heard this.
Yes, they did a Father's Day video for this guy. So Gary hears that they're escorting Jeff through an airport. Well, Gary is on the phone, like while they're walking by, hangs up the phone and does an underarm shot with a snub nose 38 right through Jeff's head, nails him in one shot. And the very famous quote of the cops are like, "Gary, why, Gary, why?" So Jody grew up, he's a assault victim specialist, and he's helped like thousands of people get through like probably like the worst experience ever through like humor. And it's like, hey, I'm messed up, but if you realize that you messed up, you can figure out there's a problem. I mean, he's a really cool dude, but he wrote a book about his experiences. And it's called "Why, Gary, Why?" And he actually brought the shirt his dad murdered his abuser in, and he's like, look at the book. The book cover has the exact same color pattern as the shirt that his dad wore in his infamous like father retribution thing. And he's just talking about like there's this one part where Jody was having like kind of a PTSD attack in the supermarket because like I swear I saw Jeff, and his dad looks at him and is like, "I didn't see him. I know where he's at." It's like, oh my God. But like he talks about like how his dad kind of helped him get through like what happened to him through like some really dark humor. And like he remembers like when he was like older, he's like, "Hey, like I'm cooking out on the grill." He's like, "Hey, you want to see Jeff?" And he's like, looking to the flames. It's like, oh no. But what's hilarious though is that like because you have Brandon Herrera and then you have Eli. Eli is like an Iraqi war veteran, so he's like super dark humor, and then Brandon Herrera is just like a dark humor guy. And you have Donut, who does like have a dark sense of humor, but he gets very, very like cagey when it comes to like sexual stuff. And like Jody immediately comes off with like the abuse stuff, and like everybody's laughing, and then Donut's just like this, like immediately, like, we've made Donut incredibly uncomfortable. It's like, dude, you watch like cop shootings all the time. He's like, yeah, I know. That's how like messed up this crap is, man. But it was very, very interesting and kind of nice to learn that people have this ability to better themselves after like literally the worst thing that ever happened. And I'm not even joking. Where like Unsubscribed is probably like the most like vulgar podcast I listen to. And then they put a warning in there and they're like, we know that we're really going to be crossing some lines when we put a warning on this. So fair warning to everybody. But it was very interesting. And honestly, it was really, really funny. But what it brought up to that whole like In Praise of Shadows video is like, yep, people will definitely defend anybody these days. It's like, guess what? There he is in the charcoal. So it's just, but yeah, it was very interesting, and I had a lot of fun watching it. Even though, again, some really messed up stuff, but it was very refreshing to see somebody pull himself out of that. So, very interesting podcast. So, that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. I have some Lays that are, what is it, cheesy garlic toast Lays. So I'll have to report
As in
back. How much
chips?
those- yeah.
Okay. For a second, I thought he meant a lathe, like a
Oh,
mechanical lathe. I'm like, a garlic lathe?
cheesy Lay. Now I need
I
that.
thought you were thinking like lay, like Hawaiian neck thing.
It could be anything.
To ward off vampires. So,
I'll have to tell you how those Lays taste someday, unless I forget.
Hmm.
Hattie has a giant thing in her mouth. So
I can't even see her. Holy crap.
that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please, if you haven't subscribed, try subscribing again and make Jared do some stuff he doesn't want to do.
Beyond,
We haven't
beyond
even
the
seen
lookout.
Michael do it yet.
Well, I know. That's coming though. We promise. So it is coming. We don't know when.
It's not even out yet, so can't be here.
Throw us some likes and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time.
Beyond,
Recording stopped.
Oh,
oh,
I'm still
Michael's
recording.
still
Go ahead,
recording.
Thomas. Go ahead.
beyond, or be aware of the lookout. Or oh god, I can't even say
it's over.
Thomas!
it. Be on the lookout for our Rebel Moon special, our 100 subscriber special, and we're gonna make Michael cry.
Be on the lookout. Okay.
I'm gonna
Bye.
cut that.
Bye.